It's almost like this feels embarrassing. Someone suddenly comes over and your house is a mess and you're like, don't look at that pile of clothes or my underwear over the chair or whatever. It's sort of that vibe. Hi friends and welcome back to my channel. Let's chat about my June hopefuls. I'm saying hopefuls because I know very well that I'm not gonna be reading all of the books I'm gonna talk about today. It's not likely, it's not happening, I am aware. Another thing is I've actually been calling this my May TBR up until today in my planning document until I realized today that wait a minute, it's actually my June TBR. Summer is upon us. This though doesn't really feel like a summer TBR. But I feel like I'm building up for a summer TBR. July will have my proper summer TBR. My go-to, July TBR is gonna be my Sanderson, my thick fantasies, my mysteries, those sort of things. This is such a random and weird mix. I feel like that's the theme for my TBR videos lately. The books I'm talking about are all over the place. This stack is just looking weird. It's not aesthetic, it's not cute. It's odd. The main two things controlling my TBRs currently are the Buzzwordathon readathons. There's two, the title one and the cover one. And then also my 26 books in 2026 that I did at the start of the year. Those are the main deciding factors for when I plan my TBRs. And this is just looking weird. It's just looking weird. Don't judge me. I hope you get it. What's happening in June? No traveling. Yay! There's also a few books I'm hoping to finish before June, and I actually think I will. Although I realize now it's the 27th of May, so maybe not. We'll see. But I won't talk about them here, because I'm hoping I will finish them. Low-key haven't read as much as I typically do in either April or May. May has gotten better this last week or so, but it's been slow. But I sort of feel like I'm getting back into it. I feel like I say this every single time, but every single time I mean it as well. We have Buzzwordathon, we have books I want to catch up on, we have my 26 books to read in 2026, we have some library books I picked up. Buzzwordathon for June, the title challenge is to read a book with a one-word title. Surprisingly difficult once I started to look at my books. Not that difficult, I still had around perhaps 10 books to choose from, but considering how vast my TBR is, you would expect there to be more, right? And I have two options that I feel pretty good about. One I've talked about before, and perhaps it's not realistic for me to finish this in June, as I've said in other TBR videos as well. But let's just throw it into the mix. Inferno by Dante. You've seen it before. I started reading it in February, I think, and I have read the first 4 cantos, and I am tabbing it, I'm watching videos alongside it, I'm underlining sort of moments to keep track of what's happening, because it is a tricky read. I need to be at home, I need to watch some YouTube videos explaining what's going on, but it's not that long of a book, right? So I feel like if I try to focus a bit more in June, perhaps I could actually finish this one, and Inferno is just a one-word title, so it would be perfect. But I have another option in case I don't manage to do that one, and that is actually Horrorstör by Grady Hendrix. This is a horror novel and a story that takes place in an IKEA warehouse, which is why the book is sort of formatted as an IKEA catalog. Or it's not really IKEA, but it's heavily inspired by IKEA. An Orsk furniture superstore in Cleveland. And there's some sort of mystery. So 3 employees volunteer to work a 9-hour dusk till dawn shift. In the dead of the night, they'll patrol the empty showroom floor, investigate strange sights and sounds, and encounter horrors that defy the imagination. I just think this could be fun and thrilling, and I'm sort of in the mood for a horror, and I just think the formatting is really interesting. And also, this is another fairly short read, it's 250 pages. Either one of these two for Buzzwordathon title challenge, most likely Horrorstör, will make an attempt for Inferno. The second Buzzwordathon challenge is to read something with wings on the cover. A prompt I love, obviously, because I have a thing for angels and angel wings, and I do have a few books with angels and angel wings on them. But then I've also tried to think about my 26 books to read in 2026, and there are a few projects I would like to start. A few rereads, so to say. There's one reread that is motivated by the fact that we have a book being released in June relating to it, and the other one is just for funsies. Let me just talk about it. My two options are either Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, we have The Crows, or Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. Obviously an angel with angel wings, or fallen angel to be exact. This is so random. This is like every person's wet YA dream, right? Have we seen someone hold up these two books ever since 2020? I don't think so. Hush Hush is on my 26 books to read in 2026. The entire series is on my 26 books to read in 2026. And I feel like this would give me so much comfort and fun and joy. And I feel like I really want that. I feel like I would fly through these books because it's like YA, new adult. I've never done a proper reread for this series, so I would love to do that. I would love to sort of reread it the same way that I reread the Twilight books. So I would tab it and I would highlight things I enjoy. I wouldn't do it as in depth as I've done with the Hunger Games. It would be more of a moments I like, character moments. I was obsessed with this series when I was younger. Patch was my everything before Edward Cullen or during Edward Cullen. Yeah, I just think I would have a blast with this series. But it's so out there. I'm curious to see how this series holds up. I haven't heard the best things from people that have reread it lately. I don't think I will care. I think I will just have a good time and be happy with it. Six of Crows is getting a sequel. By the end of June we are getting Letters from Ketterdam, which is basically, as it says, letters from characters that we met in the Six of Crows duology. I think it's a fairly short book, like 50, 60, 70 pages, something like that. It's more about the aesthetics, the formatting, the layout. I thought it would be fun to reread the Six of Crows duology before reading Letters from Ketterdam, because I've never done a reread of this series either, and I adore this series. It's one of the first series I read when I got into BookTube in 2020. I think it was 2020, right? Or 2019. I love this series so much. I have I guess it's called like the collector's edition or deluxe edition of the series. They are so stunning. I already tabbed it back then. I haven't really annotated it, but I've tabbed favorite scenes and quotes. And I thought it would be cute if I sort of have a similar approach rereading it and choose another color tab, because this one is pink, and I just tab it again for this reread. I feel like rereading the series would also motivate me to read the King of Scars series, which I never got to. I own both books, but I just never read it. And I want to, because I remember really, really liking Nikolai from the Grishaverse series. These are both on my June TBR. I would love to read them both. I just haven't decided which one I will prioritize and get to first. And in order for me to feel comfortable starting either one of these rereads, I need to finish a reread. And that is my Twilight reread, which I started last fall sometime. And I read almost all of the books except for one, which is Breaking Dawn. So I have the movie tie-in of the Breaking Dawn book. It's not for any of the challenges, it's not for my 26 books in 2026. I just want to wrap this reread up so I can continue with other rereads. And I am excited to read this, because it's been ages since I read Breaking Dawn, and I had so much fun rereading the other Twilight books before this. But I forgot how much of a chunker this one is. It's over 600 pages. Also, I have this really scrappy edition where it's so like sun damaged on the spine, but that is fine. I don't really care about these editions. I have my other editions as well. So this is just like an annotate, have fun with it, throw it around edition. So what I usually do is I tab moments for different characters. So I have tabs for Edward, Bella and Jacob, and then the Cullens. We have it for quotes I like. We have it for some other things. I'm gonna need to refer to my previous annotations. But yeah, so I sort of feel like this needs to be prioritized before we get to these two. This is what I meant when I said that this is looking like such an odd mix of books. Or not this one, perhaps. This looks like your wet YA dream from when you were 16. But then you throw in Inferno and Horror Stir, and now it's looking really weird, okay? I can't explain that. Sorry. And then there are a couple of other books in a fantasy land, in a world far, far away. I would be able to read this now in June. I don't think I will. We have a book that is getting a movie adaptation, I think now in June or July, which I know realistically I won't have read before watching the movie, and that is 100% fine, but it's still on my 26 books to read in 2026. It would be fine to read it. The Iliad and the Odyssey. So I put this on my 26 books to read in 2026 for 2 reasons. One being that I actually was in Athens earlier this year for holiday, and I really wanted to read up on my mythology and stuff before that. And the second reason is because of the movie Odyssey that is coming out this summer. So yeah, I'm counting this as 2 books for that list at least, because you have the Iliad and the Odyssey. I've actually made previous attempts in the past to read this. This is the, what is this called? It's actually one of the first books I purchased when I got into BookTube as well, which is such an odd thing. I just love a leather-bound book with gilded edges. But yeah, this is Barnes & Noble's, I think it's called Omnibus Edition or something like that. And I made previous attempts to read this before. I've gotten 60 pages into it. I think I might just have to reread it again. I feel like now, having read Mythos by Stephen Fry, I have a bit better of an understanding of, I guess, the world or the setting. Maybe a summer project. I'm not gonna read and finish this in June. Definitely not. But maybe I can start it and have it as a summer project. A book I really, really, really want to read but never seem to get to, which was on my January TBR actually, is The Ballad of Never After. I want to continue with the series. The series is fairy tales, fantasy, entertainment for me. I really want to continue with it. I need it for Buzzwordathon. Yes, I know I'm behind. I just wanted to mention it because I want to get to it. Maybe that's on the July TBR. Maybe I'm gonna put it on the July TBR instead. And then we have 2 books I picked up from the library this week. One is by Rachid Benzine, and it's called The Man Who Read Books, and it's a novel about Gaza. I just saw it one day in the bookstore, thought it was really interesting, saw that my library had it, so I picked it up. It's really short. It's about an old man who is just sitting around a bunch of stacks of books, and a French press photographer asks if he can take a photo of him. And the answer is no. Instead, he invites the photographer for a cup of tea and starts telling his very dramatic life story. It was originally written in French, it's been translated to multiple languages, so I thought that, hey, might as well read it in Swedish then. And I think it could be insightful. And then the second book is called Russia's Military Fuck-Ups. I just think the title is funny, and this is created by 3 Swedish authors or people. They have a podcast together, I believe, talking about war and stuff. I really don't know much about it, but one of my goals for the year is to read more history, and I feel like this could be a fun way to do it. It basically tells us a story about Russia's war performance, starting from the First World War and up until today. And I think there's gonna be a lot of humor in it. This is what I mean when this is looking so odd, because we have this, a history book, a humorous history book. We have a deep, hard-hitting novella about Gaza. We have the Iliad and the Odyssey. And then we suddenly have Breaking Dawn, Hush Hush, and Six of Crows. This mix is just looking insane. And as I've said, I'm not gonna read all of these now. It's not happening, it's not possible. But it's sort of if I could read anything and everything within the time I have, these are the books I would have read. The aim is to get either one of these 2 read, either one of these 2 read, this one definitely read, and then start this one and finish at least one of these 2. That's such a weird TBR, and I realize now as well that I barely told you anything about the books either, which is sort of the point of a TBR, but I feel like these books are, you know what Twilight is about, you know what Six of Crows is about, Inferno I barely know myself, the Iliad, I don't know. In my mind when planning this, it was a lot better. And now actually filming this and realizing what odd stack of books I have, I don't know anymore. But it's hopefully gonna make for some interesting reviews and videos, so we'll see about that. I think I will film the process of me rereading Hush Hush. I think that could be fun. Let me know if there's any other books that you're interested in seeing videos for, like a dedicated vlog or review or whatever. Please don't say any of the classics, because that wouldn't be fair to the classics. I think that's it. I feel like I really need to get to reading now. Desperately. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!